Hello everybody, welcome. So basically in this wonderful reading I'm going to be doing for a day of the week for December 8th to December 13th of 2025. So in this wonderful reading I'm just going to say it about how it goes in this theory of how it's going to be, in this wonderful feeling of how it's going to be. Because we're going to be in this wonderful feeling with what's going on in this situation, because we have to figure this out, right? So during the week, I need to figure out what's going on in this situation, no matter how it's going to be. So, without further ado, without any questions, I'm going to see what's going on in this reading, and it's going to be very interesting. So, be advised on what's going on in this situation, no matter how it goes. So, you have to figure this out. So, in theory, you have to have your own basic needs to understand what's happening in this situation, because you think to yourself, alright, well, this will be very interesting. Yes, it is. So in theory, you have that the way of how it goes in that situation, because you have to know how it goes from the way of how it is, and you have to think back. You have to acknowledge it from the inside looking in. Because that's how it goes. So in theory, it's based on how you're going to be feeling, because that's how it goes. You have to see it as wonderful feeling. Now, in the way how this is, you have to identify how you're feeling in this wonderful day of the week, right? This is how it goes. And you have to understand that, because this is the way of how it goes in that way, whether you like it or not, but it's based on how it is. So let's get started. So in this wonderful feeling, you have the 2 wands here. There's no planning on something, because you're not planning on anything. 8 wands over their speed here, because you might be doing Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Queen wands here, there's no charisma. 8 pentacles here, there's no perfection. Chariot is upright, there's progress. High priest is upright, you're using your inner voice. Alright, that's how it goes. So this is how it's going to be based on, but this is how it goes. So theoretical speaking, this is the way how it looks, but in dignity, you have your own self-respect. So this is how it goes. So I'm going to clarify between the 8 wands, the 2 wands, and the queen wands. Queen wands here, there's no charisma. Justice, sorry, you're telling the truth. High priestess here, there's no inner voice. The sun carrier, there's negativity. Alright, so basically during this week, between the Monday and Tuesday, December 8th and the 9th, you are going to look up where you're going to have a negative feeling in that way. So you're going to be having a negative emotion, whether you're saying, oh, oh goodness, it's Monday, or oh goodness, it's Tuesday, whatever it is. You're going to figure out saying, why are you feeling like this? Because that's the way it works, right? This is the way of how it goes. This is not your own turmoil or whatever it is, but how you're feeling in that way. What's between this chariot, the high priestess, and the 8 pentacles? The magician, you're going to have skill. Death carriers, there's no endings. Taurus, there's no transformation. 8 cups, there's entertainment. So you want to be entertained, and when you want to be entertained, that's how it goes. So you might be entertained between Wednesday, December 10th, Thursday, December 11th, or Friday, December 12th, right? That's how it goes, right? And December 13th, voila, it's going to be basically, Saturday, December 13th, right? So you have to look at it from a different perspective. That's all you can do. But it's based on how you're going to be feeling in the next, how you're going to be, right? That's how it goes. So when you look at the sun carriers, there's negativity here. It's like, why are you doing it? Well, let's see what's going on in this situation. We're going to figure this out. So let's see what's going on, right? So in this theory, we have to have our own basic needs. We want to have our own basic wants, because that's how it goes. So let's see what's this sun card about. The cups here, there's no romance. 5 cups here, there's no grief. The 9 wands here, there's no fear. 5 stars here, there's no conflict. Stars over, there's inspiration. Yeah, because you're going to wish upon a star. So things are going to look at into the different perspective. That's all you can do. But it's based on how you're going to be feeling in that way, right? So that's how it goes. Things are going to look at it into a different perspective. That's all you can do. But you have to look at it, right? You have to look at it from how you're feeling in that way and saying, well, gosh, I need to figure this out. Yes, it is. Because this is like how it is. This is not your P's and Q's or whatever it is. This is how it goes. So from the Magician all the way to the Eight of Cups, let me clarify. Magician already, you want skill. Ace of Swords already, there's basically understanding. Knight of Wands, there's no immaturity. Queen of Cups, there's no empathy. Knight of Swords, there's no trauma. But the Chariot is already, you want progress. That's how it goes. So you might be doing Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in that way during this week, but you pay attention on how you're feeling in that way, because that's how it goes, right? So you have to know about how it is in that way. So let me clarify the Star card. The Sun card is already this positivity. High Priest here, there's no invoice. The Devil is already, there's obsessions, addictions. That's how it goes, right? So you have to figure out that you need to be who you are, because you're between the positive and the negative side, so if it's like if you're having a good Monday, or you're having a good Tuesday, or you're having a good week, that's how it goes, because you have to understand that, because it's the way how it is, because this is how it goes, and you think that, well, this is going to be very interesting, right? So when you say it and when you don't spray it, that's how it goes, right? It's like things are really happening all at once. So you might be deal with a Capricorn as an earth sign, but that's how it goes. So you might stay positive as long as it needs to, but you need to understand that. What's between this Magician card? The Death card, yours, there's no endings. The Emperor is alright, you want structure. Judgment, yours, there's no action. And the Fool is alright, there's change. Yeah, because things are going to be changing, right? So when things change in a split second, you know how it goes in that way. So what's between this Chariot card? The World of the Earth is incompletion. Yeah, because something that was incompleted, right? So when things are going to be incompleted, it's like while you're doing it, right? So that's how it goes. So you have to figure this out. So what's this World card about? So here, the Hermit Earth, there's no solitude. Just the Earth, there's no telling the truth. But here is right, there's progress. Yeah, because in that way, whether you're going to tell the truth, whether you like it or not, but during this week, it's like you need to step forward instead of step back, because you have to look at it from a different way. So things will be happening all at once, because that's how it goes. So you have to figure out where you're going to have a good day or bad day. It all depends on you. It all depends on how you're feeling in that way, and you have to understand that, because you have to consider your emotions here, because that's the way how it goes. So let's see what's this Devil card about. So I'm going to do a 3-card reading. So the Empress is upright, there's no argument. The Page of Swords, there's education. Judgment, yours, there's no action. Queen of Cups, yours, there's no empathy. Wheel of Fortune, you're going to have good luck on your side. That's how it goes. So you might be having a good luck during this week, because that's how it goes. You're planning in advance, because when you do it, that's the way how it seems to be, because you're going to look into a different perspective. That's what you can do. So you might be dealing with a Gemini or Aquarius in that way, because that's how it goes. What's this Fool card? Ace of Pentacles here, there's no prosperity. Ace of Wands, there's new beginnings. The Fool is upright, there's change. That's how it goes, right? So you're into that between having a change, right? So things are changing, right? It's like the way how it looks. So when you understand that where things are going to be changing, that's how it goes in a split second. What's this Cherry card about? Knight of Pentacles is upright, you want trust. Ten of Swords, there's conclusions. And 2 Pentacles, alright. So you're balancing two things at once, right? So you're balancing, and that's very interesting, because when things are be all balanced, it's like, okay, this is the way how it goes. I need to step forward. I need to have understanding about how this week is going to go. That's how it goes. So you might be doing a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius. That's how it goes. So you have to believe in order to do that, because there are ways that you need to consider of your own options, right? That's how it goes. So you see it, but that's how it goes in that way, right? That's how it seems to be. So let me clarify this Wheel of Fortune here. Judgment is already, you're taking positivity, and the Sun card is already there's positivity, right? So you're going to stay positive. During this week, you're going to stay positive as much as you can, because positivity goes a long way, right? So when you try to figure out that you're into a positive mood, stay with it. you need to stay positive as much as you can because it's going to be how it is. Negative can hit you from the head to your toes, right? That's how it goes. That's why you have to figure out whether you like it in different perspective. That's all you can do. But you take a risk. You take about how it's going to be in that way, whether you like it or not. But this is how it goes. You're trying to know how it goes because in theory, you have to stand that. Right? You have to believe in order to do that because that's how it goes. What's between this Ace Wands and this Fool card? The Strength card is alright. There's bravery, yeah, because you need to be brave, right, in order to do that. What's between this 9 Pentacles, 10 Swords, and this 2 Pentacles? Devil is alright. There's obsessions, right? So things are going to look at into a different perspective. That's all you can do. But you take a risk. You take about how it's going to be in that way. Whether you're trying to understand it, you're trying to impose, you're trying to reconsider how you're feeling, because that's how it goes, right? So you see it as a wonderful feeling. What's between this Judgment and this Sun card? Moon reverse says there's no misrotations, right? So the moon is not affecting you during this week, but it's based on it, right? That's how it goes. What's between the Strength card here? Nine of Swords card, there's drama, and King Cups card, there's support. 2 of Cups card, there's relationships and friendships, because that's how it goes, right? So you might be dealing with Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in that way, whether you like it or not, but that's how it goes, right? You decide. Because during this week, you pay attention on how you're feeling, no matter how it goes. Because there's always an inflow, an outflow, whatever it is, of how you're feeling, right? That's why when things are happening in a split second, you know what to do, right? That's how it goes. What's between this Devil card here? Ace Swords card, there's anxiety. King of Swords, there's no noise. Three of Cups, there's no celebration. 2 monsters, there's no planning. 7 of Swords is upright, you're feeling deceit. Yeah, because that's how it goes. So when you have anxiety, that's how it goes, right? So when you're having anxiety, it's like things are not working out. But in the way of how it goes, from the start, middle, and end, you will process it as a wonderful feeling, right? It's the gain of momentum. That's the way how it works, because that's the way it seems to be. What's between this Moon card here? 10 Wands card, there's burdens. Judgment Uranus, there's no action. Hierophant is alright, you want guidance. That's how it goes, right? So you want things to be happening all at once, because that's the way it seems to be. You have to understand that, because during the way of how it is, you think that, oh, well, everything seems to be fine. Yes, but this is how it goes, right? So this is the way it seems to be. So we're going to go from the middle to the left, middle to the right. So 10 Swords, there's no conclusions. Taurus over, there's transformation. King Cups over, there's support. 6 Wands, there's no achievement. Knight Wands, there's no immaturity. 6 Swords, there's movement. That's how it goes, right? So you're moving along into this situation, no matter how it goes. Because, like I say, you are basically in between the start, the middle, and end of this situation. So during this week, between December 8th to December 13th of 2025, you pay attention to what's going on through this whole entire way of knowing what to do. What's between the middle and the right side? 5 Wands, so there's no chaos. 2 Swords, reverse your rich path you're going to take. 8 Wands, there's no speed. 3 Wands, there's communication. Yeah, because you want to communicate. So things are really happening all at once, because that's how it goes. So you might be dealing with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, because that's how it goes. What's between this 3 Wands here? Page Wands, there's no invention. 3 Pentacles, there's no excitement. King of Knight Pentacles, there's trust. That's how it goes, right? So you see it as a wonderful feeling, right? Because you want it to be trusted during this week. What's this 6 of Swords about? 10 of Cups, there's completion. 8 of Swords is upright, there's understanding. 5 Swords, there's no conflict. 5 Pentacles, there's no insecurity. And the lower side, there's decisions, yeah, because you're going to make decisions during this way. So, you know, that's how it goes. What's in the middle of this situation? 3 of Swords, there's no heartbreak. But 7 of Swords is upright because you're feeling deceit. Yeah, so things are going to look at as they are, because that's the way of how it is in that way, in this whole entire negotiable feeling, right? That's how it goes, right? So you have to accept it, right? That's how it goes. So you have to believe it in order to do that, because that's how it goes during this week. And when you do it, it's like, this is how it goes, right? So during this week, you pay attention on how it goes. So between December 8th as a Monday all the way to December 13th as Saturday, between the days, you pay attention on how you're feeling in that way, whether you're having a good day or how it goes. But it all depends on the emotions. It all depends on how you're feeling, because you have to pay attention on how it goes, right? It's the way how it seems to be, and nonetheless, it's like, this is how it goes. So you have to believe it. You have to achieve it. You have to be who you are, because you have to be authentic. And when things be happening all once, that's how it goes, right? You have to believe it. So you believe on what you believe, and you have to behave on how you behave. That's the way how it works. So this is the way it happens. But before I let you go, try to pay attention about this whole entire reading, because it does fit you, and if it does, you pay attention on how it goes in that way, and that's how it's going to be. So this is how it goes. But thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to you all, and I'll see you next time when I do. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. And bye.